Oh. Oh, man, you guys don't want to hear that. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Rob Sambles here. I'm sorry, first of all, that there wasn't a video yesterday. You can probably hear I'm ill. Had some horrible cold thing going on. It took me out of action yesterday. I tried to start filming a video. It was just going to sound the worst, and today's still going to sound a bit funny. But anyway, we're here, we made it, and today I'm going to try and answer the question that I probably get asked more than anything else. When people message me on Instagram, Twitter, comment on my videos, they ask so often, I'm looking to get into sports photography, what camera should I buy, or what lens should I buy, or I've got this lens, what lens should I buy next? And 9 times out of 10, you guys asking those questions are starting out, and you're often on a very tight budget, just like I was when I first started out. Now, I've done videos before around how to do sports photography on a budget, but today I'm going to do something slightly different because I'm going to talk about which camera and which bodies and which lenses should you buy if you were just starting out in sports photography. I think we're going to be able to get you a decent setup for less than £300. And then I'm going to show you the different tiers that you could then use from that point up, all the way up to like a pro level set of gear really. So hopefully this will be a good video. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the content matter, guys, I'm going to give the usual spiel. Please do smash that like button if you find this video useful. If you're new to sports photography, this gives you a bit of an idea of something you could go out there and buy, then look, please do. Let me know. Smash that like button, comment below. Let me know what it is that you're going to be using, what it is that you're going to try next, maybe something that you're going to purchase. If you are interested in buying any of this gear, I've put links to everything on Amazon in the description below, so you guys can go and have a look and see if there is something there which takes your fancy. Don't forget to check out my social media channels, guys. At Rob Sambles Sports, probably the best place to go if you are into your sports photography. I've also got at Scorchers Photog if you like your basketball stuff. And I've also got my other channel, which you guys who've seen it already know is mostly like travel and landscape stuff. That's kind of my personal passion. So go check that one out for me as well. That's at Rob Sambles Photo. And you can also find me at Rob Sambles Photo on Twitter. I put lots of my work up on there, sometimes some behind the scenes stuff on my Instagram stories. Go check those out, guys, follow along, comment on something over there, let me know that you came from a YouTube channel. And last but certainly not least, before we get into the content, guys, if you're new around here, please do think about subscribing. Loads of other videos on my channel, loads more videos to come. I'm sure there'll be something interesting for you, so please do think about subscribing. Follow along with us. Right, anyway, let's get into it. Let's start talking cameras. Now, the first answer to which camera should you guys buy, which some of you are going to find a bit frustrating, I know, but the answer is you should just buy whatever camera you can afford. If the best camera you can afford right now is a Canon 1200D, then get yourself a Canon 1200D. If the best thing you can afford is a Canon 1DX, well, hey, get the Canon 1DX. You've got to go with whichever camera you can afford. And that's absolutely fine. I've seen somebody take decent sports photos fairly recently on a Canon 1200D. And I've seen people, of course, take great photos on a Canon 7D, a Canon 7D Mark II, a 1DX, a 1DX2, all the Nikon cameras. And guys, I will say this video is going to be heavily Canon focused because that's what I know. I apologise to all you guys who shoot Nikon. I don't know much about it. But I'm sure you can get the equivalent kind of bodies that I'm going to talk about in the Nikon brand. So the first camera body I want to talk about, which is probably your first step if you're thinking, right, I want a specific sports camera with great autofocus, fast frame rate that I can use to go and shoot some sports properly. I would say the Canon 7D is your place to start off. It's a really affordable camera now. It's something you can pick up on eBay or Amazon. In fact, you know what? Let's have a look at that right now. Let's have a look. Now, the good thing about eBay is you can pick up stuff for such varied price ranges. I mean, you have to be careful with eBay, and you need to make sure that you're buying it from a reputable seller who's got some decent feedback. But if you have a look on here, for example, the 7D, I mean, here we go. There's one here for $225. There's one down here for less than £200, another one here for $205. So the 7D is a really good starting point if you want to try to get something that is kind of, a half decent camera, decent frame rate, great autofocus for a really good price, I would say the 7D is definitely the best place to go. So there you go. So Canon 7D, really affordable camera. People will talk about the Canon 7D and say, oh, it struggles at higher ISO levels and stuff like that. And yeah, it does. If you're trying to shoot, 6-400, it does struggle. But, if you're just starting out in sports photography, you're probably going to be shooting mostly in the daytime anyway. If it's your kids' sports or local football, it happens during the daytime, right? Saturday, Sunday mornings, get out there down your park. There's local football going on outside in the middle of the day. Don't worry about shooting at night, you don't need that. And that's going to be the theme with a couple of the lenses I talk about too, which helps you do the whole thing a lot cheaper. Yeah, fine, if you're going to be out there shooting under dark floodlights, you're going to need something a little bit different, but you're not going to be doing that to start with, so don't worry about that. Just go with something cheap, affordable, that will start you off so you can start getting yourself some great photos. I would say that Canon 7D is a great place to start. Now, of course, next up from the Canon 7D is the Canon 7D Mark II, a camera which I still use for my professional work today. Canon 7D Mark II is a big step up from the Canon 7D Mark I. Much better performance at ISO, higher ISO levels. Autofocus, great. The frame rate's a little bit faster. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe like 8 frames a second, something like that, I would guess. But really great camera, really good to use. And something really affordable now. If you were to get this used, you could probably pick it up for sort of, I would guess 700 quid, cheaper maybe, 500, something like that. In fact, let's do the same thing. Let's have a quick look on eBay and see what we can see. Starting point. Here we go. Buy it now for $625. £800, 700, 750. So really affordable camera. I mean, there's loads here for less than £1,000 already, guys. But I reckon if you were to $650 here, if you were to look around, I reckon you could get one of these for 500 to 600, something like that. If you were to take your time looking. Now, we've talked about a couple of camera bodies. Let's talk about lenses. Now, I'm doing this video in mind assuming that most of you guys are going to be looking to shoot some kind of football or some kind of sport that requires a little bit of extra reach. So I would say the first thing that you want to try to get yourself is a lens that will give you 300mm reach. Now, yeah, of course, there are 300 f2.8s and things like that, but they're going to cost you a lot of money. To start off with, just focus on getting yourself that 300mm. And if I was telling someone the best place to go and do that cheap, it would be the Canon 75 to 300 f4 to f5.6 lens. It gives you that 300mm reach. I think it's less than £100. In fact, let's check it out right now. Let's have a look. And here you go, guys, we're just on Amazon. You can see it right here. Less than £100, $81.67 gets you a 300mm lens for your Canon. Now, yeah, it's f4 to 5.6, so look, it's going to be in the daytime, really. But if you're just starting out with sports photography, you're shooting your kids, something like that, it's going to be in the daytime 9 times out of 10 anyway. And if not, make sure it is, because to start with, you just want to get out there and have a bit of fun and get a bit of practice. And for 82 quid, you know what, it's worth it. Get out there shooting the daytime. There's plenty of sports, plenty of stuff going on Saturday, Sunday, where you don't have to worry about nighttime or floodlights or whatever else. Don't worry about things that you don't need to too early. Just concentrate on getting yourself a lens that will do the job. And this paired up with a 7D, that's going to do the job for, God, if you're lucky, less than £300, and you could get yourself a Canon 7D with this lens right here, you'd be good to go to start you off. So there you go, guys. For £80, you can get yourself a 300mm lens. Now, yeah, f4, f5.6 isn't going to do it in low light, but again, it doesn't matter. This is just about getting you out there and shooting sports at a really affordable level. And, to do that, if you paired that up with a 7D, you're talking £300 maybe for the whole setup, and that gives you plenty to get out there, shoot your kids, shoot your friends on a Saturday, Sunday morning, go shoot your local team in the park. Great setup to better start you off doing that. Yes, as you progress, you're going to need something that really is f2.8 to get yourself sorted in the lower light, but this is about starting you off in the best place to start. So, moving on to the next question. If someone said to me, what is the best lens to start off with sports photography? And I don't mean if you're just trying to start out and do it. We talked about that. Your 75-300 is a good starting point. but you're taking it serious, you want to step forwards, what's the first lens you should go out there and invest in and spend a bit of money on? I would say your best bet is going to be the Canon 70-200 f2.8. You can get f4 versions of this lens, but I would say the 2.8 is the way to go. If you're going to invest and you're going to spend a bit of money, spend the extra couple of £100 and look at a 2.8 version. Again, don't be afraid to look at used lenses, and let's do the same thing, guys. Let's have a look and see what we can see. Now, the beauty of the Canon 70-200 is there's all different types. Just having a quick look on eBay here, for example, we can find, I mean, it's still going, obviously there'll be more bids on there, but we've got the first version, that's the 2.8L, that's going to be the non-IS, the first version, so that will be cheaper, that's probably going to be one of your cheaper options. You can get the f4, but I would say if you're getting to a stage where you're looking to spring for a a better lens, you know what, make the extra jump, get the 2.8, because that will last you a lot longer. In fact, that will last you all the way through to a professional level if you were able to get to that stage. This is the one that I currently use here. This is the IS, but the Mark 1. There is now a Mark 2 and even a Mark 3 just came out. Again, 70-200, really good option, and eBay, provided you're careful with what you're buying, is a good place. I buy most of my gear used, as you guys know. So loads of options, and you can see there are loads of options with the 70-200 lens. The best thing about this is it gives you decent reach, so you can shoot some football with it. It also gives you enough wider angle so you could shoot some basketball, something like that. f2.8 is enough for low light to be able to shoot most things indoors, like basketball, for example. Great autofocus and lots of variable options. You can gradually upgrade through the different models until you get to the top end. I'm not there yet. There's a good, two models more expensive than the one that I use. So, don't worry about that. You can work your way up gradually. Now, what if you're moving up beyond that into that kind of sort of middle ground and you want to get yourself another decent lens, but you're not ready to spend £4,000 or £5,000 on something? You want to get that middle of the range lens. You're hoping to get yourself something that's 300, f2.8. In my personal experience, I would say the next best place to look is the Sigma lenses. Specifically, Sigma do a range of 120 to 300mm f2.8 lenses. Fantastic. I use some of the older models of that lens, right the way up to the quite high level football that I was shooting. They do a sport model now, which is really good, and all those lenses are really affordable. I think the most expensive, still less than £3,000. But if you're at that stage where you're looking to invest around the kind of £1,000 mark, you can get something decent from Sigma, and they're good lenses. Don't look past them just because they're Sigma. Let's have a look online and see what we can find. Now, looking on eBay again, with the Sigmas, there's all different types of Sigmas you can get. You can get the slightly older Sigma 120 to 300 f2.8. Here's one here, for example, £750, so less than £1,000, and you get yourself 300mm f2.8. Is it going to be as good as the Canons? No, it's not going to be quite as good, of course, but it's still a really good lens. I use this loads. Up to, in fact, I think I might have even shot Premier League to start with this lens, but anyway, really great lens you can get hold of. They also have primes as well. They're more expensive, but here you go. Look, here is a prime, Sigma 300 2.8, £1,500. You get the sport versions as well. This looks like it's the sport version here, which is again more expensive. It's the zoom range. This is supposed to be a really beautiful lens, although my personal experience with it is minimal. Oh no, here you go. This is the one here. This lens, great lens. Yeah, fine. Is it nearly £3,000? Yes, it is. But the Canon equivalent of this is going to be best part of twice the price. So worth considering the Sigma options if you're in that kind of middle of the range, definitely. And quickly on the topic of looking online, guys, there's another really great website. I've talked about eBay and Amazon, but again, if you're looking to buy used gear, check out a website called MPB. Really good to use. I've bought gear from there before. Now, anyone who doesn't know about MPB, real great website, go check it out. It's mpb.com. They sell used gear, they buy used gear. Real good range of stuff. I've bought gear from here before. I'd recommend it. Good company, good service. Definitely something to consider if you're looking to purchase used gear. Now if we jump right into it, over here you can see they've got the Canon 7D, for example. They've got Canon 7D bodies from 264, and over here the 7D2, they've got those from 684. You don't need to worry about it coming from some dodgy guy on eBay, but there's nothing wrong with eBay, like I've said, but a good website that you should certainly consider and really worthwhile going and checking out. And of course, at the higher end of all this, you guys know roughly what I use now. Camera body wise, I use the 1DX, although of course there is a 1DX Mark II now as well, which should be the next place to move up to. I use a Canon 300mm prime f2.8. I use an older version. I use the IS Mark 1, I think it is. I think there's even a Mark 3 now. So you could spend a hell of a lot more money than I've spent. But that tends to start getting you into the top end. Once you've got a Canon Prime 300 2.8, a 1DX body, you're getting into the higher level of the gear that you would need. And I would suggest that would be good enough gear to shoot pretty much any event. Of course, the best gear gives you that little bit of an extra advantage, but it doesn't mean that you have to have that gear to take great photos, and in fact, far from that. And I think the biggest message from this video, guys, should be just that you don't need that great gear to take great photos. People ask me all the time, how do I progress and how do I get into bigger, sporting events? And the answer is just take some great photos. Take a set of images that you're really proud of. 6, 8, 10 images that you would say, yeah, those are my best 8 photos that I've taken, and you can go and take those in the middle of the day at Sunday morning local football with a Canon 7D and a Canon 75 to 300mm. If they're great photos, you expose them properly, you don't have to worry about higher ISO level, there's not going to be loads of noise in the images. You can get some great photos, and once you get some great photos and you learn to edit them and you learn to compose the images and so on, you build your portfolio, and then you can go from there. Don't worry too much about the gear and trying to get yourself the best possible gear as quick as you can. Worry about getting yourself the basis of the gear that you need to take the photo, and then worry about taking great photos. And that would be my advice when it comes to getting into the sports photography, even more than the gear itself. So look guys, I think that about wraps it up. I hope you guys found it interesting. If you did, I said it before, please do smash that like button, smash it like you mean it. Think about subscribing if you haven't already, loads more videos to come. I hope you guys found this one interesting, and I'm going to see you guys on the next video next week. See you later.